is the one thing I get a bit concerned about for Vici right now, and I'm sure you've noticed as well. They banned the Terrorblade, they banned the PL, they banned the Shadow Demon. No AM ban yet. You've also got the Storm there. Now I realize it's probably going to be the puck mid anyway, but I wouldn't
Mhm.
really bet everything on it quite yet because they do tend to run those very unique lanes that we've seen before from SAG. And
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, do you ban out the Storm last? Do you ban out the AM last?
It could actually end up being a pretty good Storm game. Like, it's looking all right so far. A lot of the lockdown is fairly avoidable. It is within the realm of possibility that we could see like a 3 puck, a 4 pango, and a 5 clockwork. It does seem like for the most part with SAG, they do just like this position 5 clock, and it's been working for them. And that's where this Luna is, maybe a little bit scary. But the other thing to look at is that compared to the previous series and the previous Luna that we saw, there's so much more save here. All right, there's a swap to get Luna out of harm's way. She'll be able to position a little bit more defensively with the bonus range. There's the snowball as well to help keep her alive. So should be a bit of an easier situation for the Luna this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that. Vici Gaming as well, going for the DK now. Someone
Mhm.
else who really enjoys those auras being placed on top of him. It's going to be nice here. I do love this draft from Vici Gaming thus far. And I don't really see many ways of dealing with the DK either on the side of Sparking Arrow Gaming quite yet. However, this fourth pickup, we briefly talked about it. The Storm, the AM, both there. If you did want to run them, and SAG, they're going to have a think about this. I still would. I'd still say this is a fairly free Storm game if they wanted to go down this route, even with the DK coming up. Uh,
Yeah, it could be okay. I do think it takes like they've gotten away with the storm, but I think it does take a little bit away from this kind of the strategy that we've seen them running, especially in this playoff. Um, the other thing that's interesting to me is that Vici pick up this Terrorblade ban because in the earlier series that they played against SAG, they started ban like they lost to the Anti Mage in the first game and then they banned it the next two. But the Terrorblade, it did get picked in the very last game, but I don't think they ever started banning it. And I think actually looking at the stats, like as much as God King's had some really good games on it, I think statistically it's actually like win rate wise one of his weaker carries.
well,
But anyway, there's only been so many games in the last couple of weeks to go off, so
that's
shouldn't
fair.
quote the stats too much. And we do have this Doom pick coming
Hmm.
in again. Maybe just to run mid against the Dragon Knight. I
Why
don't know
not?
if it's yeah. I can't imagine that the matchup is as one-sided as the Ember matchup was.
Hmm.
Like the Inferno Blade's going to be annoying. Sure, neither one of them is going to get driven out of the lane. I think because they both got pretty high regen. But I guess they just liked the way that the Doom played out in that previous series.
Yeah, he did a great job on it. I don't see a problem with going back to that at all. Of course, later on as well, like, of course, during the laning stage, like you said, they're basically just going to trade farm and a bit of harass.
Yeah,
Later on, though, that Infernal Blade really does start to hurt the DK a lot,
yeah.
based on the max HB kind of damage type, I guess you'd call it.
Mhm.
Vici Gaming, they ban out the Naga Siren, and there's the Viper ban from Sparking Arrow, and whoa, they go for the
Ooh.
Nature's Prophet.
Okay, cool. So is this actually? I guess it could be. I feel like it's pause one profit, but it could also be like pause one doom. I
Okay.
guess. Though I think they're just going to be doing the same thing. Uh, I think they're going to do the same thing that they did in the previous series, but maybe not. Uh,
I'm personally leaning more towards the pos one Prophet here as well. Uh,
yeah, I think I've seen it play it once before, so it's not completely outside of his wheelhouse. And this is something that teams have been doing. Profit does scale pretty nicely with farm. You've got the extra bonus damage on Wrath of Nature now too. And when you're the position one, nobody gets to complain when you cast Wrath of Nature just to kill all their creeps,
true.
right?
That's very true.
You're not allowed to complain when that happens. So keep your eyes peeled for that this game. Um, it is a really strong laning hero as well. So this off lane, whatever Vici Gaming end up going for, it's looking pretty annoying. Like the
Hmm.
Clockwork's going to be up in your face. The Nature's Prophet with the Trance are just going to be auto attacking you constantly. So I don't even know what you really want to play in that lane. And just
Okay,
gonna go for a Kunkka. Okay, so I think they're reading that it's safe lane Prophet as well.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confirmed. So they're gonna throw Yang in the off lane on that DK and rather put the Kunkka mid then for Ori.
Okay.
Just it seems to work, right? You'd make the argument the Kunkka might have a chance of dealing with this Doom over the DK. Then again, it could go the other way as well, though. DD could really apply quite a lot of pressure here onto this Kunkka.
I guess we'll have to see. I feel like the Kunkka harass is going to add up a lot more than, say, the Ember in that previous series. And the other issue that I see is that this Doom looks pretty gankable, right? I'm just picturing that, like, Ori gets level 6, gets level 7. Maybe he gets a Tidebringer or 2 off, bringing the Doom down a little bit. And then all it's going to take is an X-Torrent boat with a TP from either of the 2 supports, and the Doom dies. And, we didn't really see any pressure on the Doom at all in that previous game where it got picked. So could end up being a very, very different game this time around for him.
I look forward to seeing what they do.
Yeah.
It's game number 1
if
of
anyone
the
can
grand
stop
final.
them.
Yeah. It's Vici Gaming.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have Vici didn't have the easiest road here either. They were not number 1 in their group, right? They had to take the slightly longer road, play some extra games. Ended up just beating out IG in that decider match. And then they've just gone from strength to strength since then.
That is very true. It really was after that IG matchup they really turned up, and well, we see the same kind of opening here for Vici Gaming we've seen over the past few days as well. They just smoke up straight away as 4 heroes, and I believe they'll try to loop around through the river and see if they can get a high ground advantage on the POS 1 and get an early first blood going for themselves. So nobody's quite there yet. We'll see God King sending in some treants to scout things out. But I do believe SAG should be very well aware of this this little rotation Vici likes to make pretty much every single time.
Yeah, they've been doing this quite a lot. Very deep observer ward here. Maybe scouting out some couriers, get some snipes that way. But I think more than anything, just wanting to see where the lanes are going to be set and where they should be focusing their attention. Maybe they're looking for a first blood here, something.
Could be. PYW, meanwhile, mid lane could be in trouble. Red Panda's chasing him down.
Yeah, he's got boots. I think he'll be totally fine. But yeah, it does seem like Vici wanting to set their lanes a little differently, perhaps. Maybe go for the aggro lane into the Nature's Prophet, try and get some pressure on him, get some kills early on.
Was treant. This damn little treant was trying to deny the rune away from PYW.
Can he finish it?
He
3 seconds.
Oh, come on! Oh, he gets it.
Last seconds.
Nice.
All right, well, there's the value of the boots. Okay, so what is the response here for SAG? I don't know if you really want to bring the position for Puck over here. So I guess the one thing that the Nature's Prophet does have going for himself is that, all he needs to do is really get level 3, and then he could just choose to head into the jungle. Not the preferred move for the Prophet necessarily, but it is it's an available one for sure.
Definitely so. We'll see how Vici Gaming, how long they want to keep up this trial lane, like whether they just keep it up the whole time or they'll try to go for a first blood and maybe just back off. But even now, PYW is not really able to break the gap between him and the Prophet. Looks like he's just going to go place a ward to block that small camp and maybe try and wrap around now into God King. Red Panda, of course, not really going to allow this. You kind of question how valuable this aggressive tri lane is going to be if they can't get in range. Though now God King is going to get hit by that tag team, but no. It's way too far away, and here goes Red Panda again, throwing his body at them. Just doesn't care if he dies, as long as he gets the damage out and keeps God King protected.
Yeah, so long as he's trading and so long as the Nature's Prophet is getting CS, then I feel like they're pretty happy. The God King not CSing too crazy well just yet. Have been a couple of pretty big denies from Vici so far.
Tag team out from PYW again onto Red Panda. This time they could get the kill, but no, Red Panda will be okay. He'll salve up. We'll have a look back at that lane in a second. Of course, mid lane, DD up against Ori on that Kunkka. Looking to favor Ori a little bit right now on that Kunkka, especially as the levels do go up, but then again, it's DD on this Doom. I can't actually specifically see him dying too easily, especially with all that bonus armor he got for himself in those rings of protection.
Ooh, and SAG, it might actually be okay that they've let this big camp spawn now that they've brought the puck up here as well. And you can just see that the #1 priority for the supports in this kind of tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario is keeping control of the pulls, because there's so little experience to go around that you really can't afford to let the enemy lane get a level advantage. Like, even the fact that PYW, he's like 5 experience or 8 experience away from level 2, but every little level up matters so much in this kind of tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario, and that's always what these players are looking to exploit to the fullest. Looks like Red Panda's gonna get this though.
He does. Nice pull out from Red Panda. Of course, the bot lane as well. The last lane we haven't really looked at yet. Yang up against OP God, just 1v1. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty boring lane between these two. They're just going to trade farm the best they can. Right now, they're just very, very even. OP God pretty much evening this out in terms of CS. And
bit of a dive on Ori.
Oh, Ori. Oh, tag team's going to come in. PYW, a great shards out. And DD, he is going to be not necessarily the first blood, as the gold was split, but he is going to be the first kill of the game. That was a little deep out from DD.
Yeah, and it's not like PYW TP'd or anything. He just walked all the way over. I think he really just wanted to apply pressure. He'd completely oomed Ori, so I think he wanted to just get full damage on him. Do whatever he could.
Top lane, God King, tag team is there again from PYW. Now the snowball as well, and this will be a secondary kill coming up from Vici Gaming.
Both of his TPs are down. He TP'd back to get items and then used the teleportation. So he's going to respawn, and he's got no way to get back out to the lane for an additional, like, 15 seconds.
That's a problem.
That really hurts his game.
Great plays out from Vici, though. PYW has been really on point in this position 4 throughout the whole league, but even just now, the Tusk is doing a great old job, and they'll go in onto Red Panda now. Tag team again being activated, and they just can't trade. DY, no, he won't go down. In fact, they may get the puck, but no. DY eventually does die to God King, who does get back in there and get the last hit off. Felix, luckily for him, the stick charges were available, so he will survive on the puck. So, PYW again going to go at it. 5-minute banner is coming. Tag team, Snowball going to be there. PYW outplaying the puck now. And he'll rightfully take his bounty. Or just leave it for his mid laner. Speaking of, DD now going to be in trouble. Being X'd up here from Ori. DY there as well. Torrent will connect. DD falling very low. There's that magic missile now coming out. And the shards from downtown. And it's a 5-1 already for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they are not going to let Doom have the same kind of game that he did versus RNG. Even with 8 armor worth of items there, still just kind of getting melted down. Plenty of damage from Vici. And, well, a lot of pressure now starting to fall on the veteran for SAG. OP God, he's going to have to make some plays to kind of salvage these lanes a little bit.
How early do you think he'll make them? Like, do we wait till that level 6 mark and just make a rotation? Do we wait a bit longer than that? Maybe get the Vladimirs up first?
He definitely wants the Rolling Thunder. There's no way that he rotates away from this lane before that. The only complication is that it's kind of hard for him to go and play elsewhere. Oh, God King getting gone on again.
Uh-oh. Tag team, God King. No, he's dead. It's all off the back of PYW on that Tusk. Ori, of course, was there as well, but he didn't even need to commit the boat. Just running back to that mid lane now. Maybe just clear out the jungle. Give DY a bit of space on that Vengeful Spirit mid. Well, this Nature's Prophet has died already twice, and this is very unusual for God King to not have a free game in that top lane. I wonder how he does from behind.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how he's able to catch back up. He's just coming back to the lane. Still feeling like this is the best source of farm for him. Wants to keep the pressure on. And I think he's also trying to keep Vici accountable a little bit, to keep showing their supports in this lane, because otherwise they're just letting them have way too much on the map. You know, DY is even going for some stacks here over in the Radiant jungle. So they're getting ready for when Eurus is going to come rotating in here. Red Pan's putting on some pressure, but again, this is just like, are their supports willing to help their Luna? Because you can't let them get away with being split
Bot lane.
5 all the way across the map.
Yang's going to be in trouble on that DK, but no, they don't have the damage output, even with that Rolling Thunder. Just not enough magic damage there from Felix quite yet, because he's only level 4 in the puck. It did force a rotation in from Ori and DY, but that's really all it got done. Yang is still just perfectly fine. Like, they may go again.
Yeah, they might try. So the Puck is a very different hero from like the Tusk or some of this other stuff that we've been seeing Felix play. I was actually looking over some of the old replays, and I was looking at some of the previous events. And SAG, all I remember from them was that Felix was always playing weird position 4s. Like, he was always playing the Clinks, or, you know, he was trying to make you know, some position 4 Ember work or something. And I feel like the Puck is kind of in that vein a little bit. And where they're suffering right now is that, you know, until he gets level 6, the Puck really can't set a whole lot up and be that big tempo controller that we saw from them in the previous series.
That's very true. Red Panda can be in trouble. Again, tag team and the Eclipse coming up from Eurus. Will not waste any time, but OP God, he's going to make the roll down with that Rolling Thunder. Eurus, it will not connect. OP God, he just goes the other way. It's a bit too deep if he went towards that tier 1 tower, and well, Eurus, he just gets back to farming. Now, mind you, his net worth isn't exactly as high as you'd think on that Luna. Meanwhile, DD gonna get boated up. PYW, he was falling low, but DD's falling lower. He's still alive, but does go down. Red Panda gonna try and trade, but may not get away with it, as Ori is tanking the hits from that battery assault, and he may also die. Ori gets a double. And now top lane, OP God, he's falling low. He'll die as well.
10-1 at 9 minutes in. This is not what you want to see if you're SAG currently, because, you know, top and mid were already going pretty badly, but now that's like, what, 2 Rolling Thunders committed for 0 kills thus far. The Kunkka is just walking around everywhere, getting kill after kill, or he's just going for a utility, kind of buff up my Luna build with the Solar Crest. And Eurus having a grand old time. Yang just starting to put the pressure on the towers.
Dire's top tower is under
OP God, looks like they are going to try and just push down this tier 1 bot tower now with this Prophet. DY going to be there to try and defend a little bit, but really all he can do is spam out that wave of terror. Bounties going to be a 2-for-2 trade, it seems like, just judging based off position, and now OP God going to make his way back down to that bot lane, but Ori has TP'd. X is going to be there on God King with the boat flying out as well. The Prophet's going to be falling very, very low. Now the Torrent to boot. OP God with the Rolling Thunder, but he is too late. They've lost the Prophet. The best they could hope for is DY, but the swap out now. Felix is here. He does have Dream Coil as well, but he doesn't really want to have to commit onto PYW. So he'll hold out, but now a 2-man Dream Core comes out. Still, this puck is falling very, very low. Now DD comes in with the Doom on the DK, but is it going to be enough? He's falling low on the Doom now. He'll go down. PYW also dropping on the Tusk as well as DY, but this fight is all Vici Gaming. OP God, the one last guy left, and well, Eclipse is expended here from Vici. Ori, Torrent does connect as well. And so Yang gonna stun him up, and that was basically a full team wipe.
Beautiful Torrent at the very end, and yeah, the only very slight bright spot there for SAG was OP cleaning up the double kill on the supports. Otherwise, it would have just been a 5-for-0 or a 4-for-0. So yeah, Vici just going from strength to strength. So much strength, you know, so much team fight presence out of the Kunkka early on here. And just not a ton of damage from SAG, right? It was a 2-man Dream Coil. Felix committed all the way in, just using all of his nukes to try and get the kills, but yeah, no real follow-up damage after that.
Well, SAG need to go back to that drawing board and just trying to figure out what they need to do. It's not like they're falling too far behind in farm quite yet, but they are 3k net worth behind now. So they may just need to try and slow this game down a little bit. It's kind of hard though when you're going up against this DK Kunkka. They can just run at you so early on, and well, now Yang gonna join up with PYW up that top lane and trade these tier 1 towers out.
Yeah. They do have the, they've got the ultis on the supports now, so Felix and Red Panda will be able to make a few more plays. But again, the problem that we've been talking about is just all of these defensive options for Vici. They've got 2 very tanky cores, 2 supports with defensive abilities, and then they've also got the boat on top of everything else. So it makes it hard.
Ori's almost got a solar crest up on
Yep.
that Kunkka. That's a problem. It's a real big problem coming out here for SAG, and Vici, they'll just keep extending their lead, keep farming up that dire jungle. Felix going to be up at that top lane, but Yang wants to push it in and force maybe a glyph out. They'll let it be.
Yeah, I just feel like we haven't seen any of the strength of the Wrath of Nature this game. SAG haven't been... part of it is until they had the 6s on the supports, they just didn't really have any catch. Other than Doom walking up or Pango, channeling the full Rolling Thunder and going in. So they haven't had a whole lot of kill potential until the 6s happened. And now that they have them, already Vici are starting to feel, a little bit too tanky, a little bit too far ahead on a couple of these heroes for easy pickoffs to be found. So yeah, I think you're right. SAG might just have to slow it down, wait for a couple of items, and see what they can do.
They've got the Maelstrom now up on God King, so that should escalate things for him a little bit. Going straight into that Mjolnir afterwards. Of course, now you've got the Blink coming out on Yang, though, so you've got some great initiation if you didn't already have it in the Ori Kunkka. He might try to make a play here onto Felix once that Blink is out. Meanwhile, mid, Vici Gaming. They're going to set up for a push yet? Not quite. They'll just leave that be as well.
Yeah. So Ori TP'd bottom. They were trying to get a jump on the Doom, but he's just a little bit too fast and ran away from the snowball, was able to dodge the shards. So a bit of space created. But yeah, Vici definitely going to look to use this DK Blink Dagger in a second. And maybe try and take out the mid tower. Do they have the... They've got the level 12 on the Kunkka. I think he just wants to finish up his Solar Crest before they make this next move.
I mean, that Solar Crest is going to make it kind of impossible to kill anyone. Assuming you do put that Solar Crest on someone, and Felix top lane. He's going to be the first victim of Yang's Blink initiation. Eurus is there with the follow-up as well. And Yang going to TP mid, leaving Eurus up top. Still got plenty of time on that Dragon form if he wants to try and commit for that tier 1 mid tower. And he just may, but SAG, they've smoked up, and they are chasing down DY. Red Panda just going to commit the hook and push him back with the cogs. And that is going to be the position 5 going down. Or rather the Venge. Nice easy kill. Though God King, top lane, bot lane going to be in trouble. He's going to be alright for now. The disarm came in under the Rolling Thunder. The boat, however, does kill him off with the X-Pack from Ori. And OP got still chasing the Luna that's been doomed up, but now Yang will jump in with the Dragon Tail. They've got the Dream Call out onto at least one, so Ori does go down. Now the Cogs is there, but Snowball back in from the Tusk. PYW still trying to go after OP God, but the disarms. He can't finish the job off. And OP will run, but Yang, he's there with the stun. Eurus still very low on the Luna. They're chasing him. Red Panda waiting 10 seconds for the hook shot. He's going to go for it. In fact, God King now going to TP in. Eurus, this will be a big kill, and they get the earn off as well. DD will take the kill on the Doom. However, mid lane, PYW finding Felix now. It's just an all-out brawl on the river as DD comes in with his Blade Mail. Gets swapped back in. Yang with the stun as well. I think the tier 1 tower, but now the hook shot catching out PYW. Looks like he's in trouble. He'll go down. DD's still trying to make a run for it, but they've got the X off now. He should be dead, and he will be. And I can't really tell you who won that engagement, Basskip. It just went on for a very long time.
Yeah, it just kind of kept going. So what we had, Prophet died, Doom died. So all 3 cores died on SAG, and I think it was everybody except DK on Vici Gaming, so I imagine it's probably pretty close overall. Doesn't seem like the numbers are moving too much, and now Vici just come in, and we'll just end up finishing the tier 1 tower. So the thing I was going to say before is that DY knew that he was going to die going for that rune. They had an observer ward that scouted the smoke, so he knew that he was trading his life for the 350 gold for his team there.
That's fair.
And it was the right play to drag heroes towards the top side and then try and go for a jump at bottom, but then the fight just kind of dragged on for way too long, and it definitely got a little weird in the end there.
Still, Vici Gaming definitely looking to be the ones in the driver's seat. Eurus still farming just great, has the Mask of Madness and Yasha up, and almost has the full Sergeant Yasha up. So their item progression is still just going swell for Vici Gaming, and they're going to take the outpost away from the Dire side again. SAG, they're hanging around the Radiant side jungle for now. You've got to be a little bit concerned seeing PYW now get that blink up on the Tusk. It's going to make it that much more scary going into this position for Tusk, who is currently 6-2.
Yeah, it does seem like this game is kind of turning into a little bit of split push cat and mouse. Like, I think the clearest thing to look at to see the evidence for that is the fact that Felix has picked up Boots of Travel on his position for Puck. I think the plan that SAG are hoping for currently is just shove waves, buy space, let the Prophet continue to farm up, and Vici are trying to respond by just buying a couple of Blink Daggers. They've got one in the DK, they've got one in the POW that they were just talking about.
Well, Felix tried to orb away. X was there in time from Ori. And Felix is almost certainly just going to die, though. He commits a Dream Coil, but there was 4 heroes there just in case. And so with that, Vici Gaming continue their onslaught. So try to maybe force top. No, they're going to leave that be. Like they're just more than happy to just keep control of this game and maybe even go after a Roshan kill.
It's going to be the immediate rocket flare to scout it out, but this is fast. I don't know if they can really do a whole lot to stop it.
It's hard with Solar Crest and tag team. Red Panda, he's making his way there. He's going to try for this. Rocket Flare is out, although DY is going to block the way. He needs to hook shot now, but he will not. There was really no angle for him to go for from that angle. Vici Gaming, first Aegis of the game going their way.
Yeah, that's nice. There wasn't really any way for them to defend bottom, and I don't know if they were going to be able to get to any other objective in time. So nice to grab that. At the moment, means that Luna can farm a little bit more aggressively. I like the use of the X marks the spot as well. They send Eurus down bottom to just clear out that wave and get it pushing in the right direction. And he gets brought straight back to mid by the X. So they're making all the little plays that they can to deal with this split push.
Felix committed the Dream Coil, trying to get away from Yang, but PYW is just on top of him. Yang will be able to secure the kill on the Puck. It's just so desperate to get this top lane pushed out and not allow Vici Gaming to keep taking control of this jungle, but it's really not working out for him at all. He just keeps throwing his body trying to do it.
Yeah, and I'm even trying to figure out what is the turning point for SAG. What's the moment where they can kind of take a fight? I'm not certain that this Doom. I guess he has to kind of come back into the game eventually, just by virtue of having the Devour and kind of getting the items up. But even then, he has pretty good Doom targets. Sure, it is worth dooming the Dragon Knight. It's not necessarily going to kill him, but at least you're shutting down the constant Dragon Tail and Breathe Fire spam. It's not really that useful on the Luna when she gets enough items, like the Satanic that Eurus has queued up. I don't think he's really going to care after that, and Kunkka, so long as he gets his spells up, he's going to be pretty happy.
Warrior's Punch mid lane with the Dragon Tail, though there will be a Cogs out, and Battery Assault, now Doom being thrown out as well. Back onto PYW, they'll get the hook shot, they get the Tusk kill, but now the X-Boat being thrown out on DD, and he does go down. Red Panda as well will be punished for getting PYW. Nice Cogs pushback though, but Eurus, no, he'll have the range with the Lucent Beam. I mean, you're talking about that kind of comeback potential here from SAG. They haven't found it yet either. I suppose they're back to putting their trust into God King to just farm up to the point of no return on that Nature's Prophet. But it's a matter of whether they have enough time, because Eurus, he is farming just faster.
I don't know if you saw that, but they were just trying to keep swapping to interrupt the Rolling Thunder animation. I don't think they had close to enough damage to kill him there, but they're keeping the pressure on. Vici really just running at them nonstop, and it does seem like the way that SAG are playing this map, they are 100% set on this idea of, all right, just buy time. Felix, even if he dies, he's going to keep running top. He's going to keep shoving that out to try and buy space.
BYW. Yeah, gets TD again. There will be a BKB this time, and OP will come in, and now hookshot. Red Panda, he got the big one. He caught Eurus, but that Solar Crest going to make it very hard to stay near the Luna. Here comes Felix as well. He has the Dream Coil, but won't commit quite yet. They'll go back onto OP God, and they'll get the kill on the Pango.
Why is back there? What was he doing? I don't really...
They were
Rolling Thunder still on cooldown for 25 seconds. He just kind of walks in and dies. It feels like maybe he felt like he had to help his team, but seems like a little bit of a feed, and that is the 10-second BKB also being expended for the Doom.
It's true. Not really panning out for them. You'll see Felix trying to split push mid, but no, Yang, he's got the catch again. They commit the Dream Coil to try and get away, but it just hasn't worked out. Yang continues to haunt Felix Schauber.
Yeah, he's been all over it, showing why a lot of these Chinese teams like the Dragon Knight so much. This flexibility to run it in any lane and then always have the sort of the reliable. It gives you catch, it lets you push buildings. What's not to like? And they very quickly bring down this mid tier 2. They think for a second about looking towards the tier 3, but I don't think there's really anything to force. And, there's still a tier 1 bottom and a tier 2 top for them to work through.
Yeah, I mean with this control as well, there's just no need. Eurus is, he's going to clear out the creep wave. They're not really going to try, are they?
Okay. I guess they might. I guess they still got the Aegis for another. Well, it's only for another 10 seconds.
They're doing it fast. Yang just jumps in, straight in with the Eclipse as well. It's a lot of damage out onto God King. He will die straight off the bat. Now the Doom's there on the Luna, but is it enough? The Aegis, it does expire now. Red Panda hooks in, a Great Cog's out. Eurus will die. They're all trapped in there. But it's not going to be enough, or maybe it is with the Dream Coil. They could try and turn, but Yang, he is frontlining. He does take down Felix, and they just don't have the damage output without God King there. PYW even jumping back onto Red Panda, but here comes OP God trying to fight back there with the Doom. Is it going to be enough, however? Yang is trying to run out of there. They do kill off Red Panda. Now Yang still just flying away, and OP God just can't get the damage out. Maybe soon. He almost has it. The Dragon Tail out. OP is still trying the swashbuckle, though no, he misses the last one. They'll still get DD anyway. PYW now turning back around, and here comes Yang. He got a regen rune of all things. Now he's back up to pretty much a healthy spot, and OP may just be dead though. No, God King. TP's back. How dare you forget about me, he says. Yang will go down. Now it's back after Ori. Shard's out blocking the way, but Swash will not connect. Still Ori in trouble. Orb is there, and it looks like this time they might get the win here on the side of SAG, as they do also kill off the Kunkka.
Well, it almost looked okay for Vici. I was like, oh, are they even winning the fight while having no Luna at all? But no. In the end, they just still get turned around on, and SAG finds some really nice kills.
They got the Spirit Vessel off PYW there. Just getting taken out here by Red Panda, it looks like. Dream Coil. This is the scary part about SAG, Basskip. You give him this kind of momentum shift, and they do really thrive off this.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly God King almost has like another entire item as he respawns and gets a double kill. So he's #1 on net worth. And yeah, I really feel like Vici, I don't know if there was a whole lot of reason to try and force the high ground there. I would have been okay with it if they had done it the first time, when they kind of, they ran towards it and then they backed up to go and farm Ancients for a second. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they decided in the end that they still wanted to go for it anyway, but then Aegis gets reclaimed mid-Doom, and fight just becomes a disaster from there.
Look at top lane. Eurus, he's going to be in trouble. They ignore DY altogether. Hook shot in. They've got the Luna again. Nice swap out, but the Sprout is there this time, and they commit the Doom. They take no chances with this Luna, and they will just burst both of them down. And you asked about that comeback, that turning point. Here it is, Basskip. We're in it right now.
Vici needs to find a way to mentally reset from that. Like, sure, maybe it was a bad call to go high ground. Maybe they lost track of the Aegis timing a little bit, you know, whatever. But they really just need to figure out a way to
jump in. Felix does get bursted down by Ori. Plenty of damage out there with the Tidebringer hit, especially while PYW's around. Now SAG will just back off, but I think they're just really enjoying the fact that they've actually got some space now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the other thing to point out here is that when you have this kind of reversal on the map, like when you've got the Radiant team and they're occupying all the Dire space, and they've got like these two deep observer wards, right? The problem is that as soon as they get shoved out of the Dire side, those wards are kind of meaningless, right? They're not really giving you any useful information if SAG are playing past the river. So it's a little bit dark on the map for Vici currently, but I think they should be able to get back out. They just need to continue playing, you know, together, keep playing for these pickoffs in the side lanes that they were going for earlier, and yeah, figure out a way to kind of get things together. They are worried about the Roshan currently as well, though, because we are in the Roshan window at this point.
Completely unrelated question, Basskip, but do you feel like there's a pattern to the river colors God King chooses?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't been paying attention to it.
We might have to keep an eye on it. He does change it very, very often. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. X on Eurus. He's going to TP back for a bit and defend down a bot lane. Felix going to be there to silence him, but understands he can't stop this X back. We'll see a smoke straight away. Vici Gaming, they're going to rush down towards that bot lane, it seems. The only person there is Felix on that position for Puck. But seems to be a problem for them, so they'll go trying to maybe burst him down. Felix going to TP. Yang does get the stun off. The torrent flying in as well. That'll be an easy kill out on Felix.
Alright, and they're sending the courier. They scan and they send the courier over to the pit. They're not going to let SAG get away with that one for free. SAG are also thinking about Roshan currently. Whoever grabs this next Rosh is really going to secure a lot of control over this game. So that outpost as well going to be very important. SAG don't want to give it away.
It's 15 seconds away, that Roshan respawn. Ward's going down. DY hook shot in straight away from Red Panda. They want the advantage now. And DY, he's falling very low. Rolling Thunder in as well. Back into the backlines for OP God, just controlling up that Luna. They'll get DY first. Now going back in onto that Luna with a 3-man Dream Coil. They are catching a lot out here. This looks really bad for the side of Vici Gaming. They bought back on Eurus and DY now, but they are not going to make it back fast enough. They'll lose PYW. Now Yang's being chased down. They're TPing into that mid-tier 2 tower, but DD is keeping them back. They will finally take him out, and now Felix will also die. Yang barely missing out on the profit, but they may get Red Panda. Chance gonna be out there. Swap was there though from DY, and Red Panda will also die. And it looks like they did make it in time. Vici now with those buybacks gonna claim that Roshan.
Very nicely done with the buybacks. It was a very well executed fight before that point. They brought down Eurus without him really being able to do anything, but Vici, thinking kind of one step ahead, had those buybacks in reserve, and now they're going to use them to secure the Aegis, so kind of negating a little bit of the problem. So, this Nature's Prophet is still looking pretty big. God King's doing a ton of right-click damage in these fights, and still quite comfortably #1 on net worth.
He's going to have that AC up soon.
Yeah, and it's not even certain that this Aegis is going to get a lane of racks for Vici, which is kind of the scary thing, because now they've got the Aegis and the cheese. Sure, that's going to get them back in control of the game for a little bit, but there will still be there's this window after that's done where the Luna is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. So they're just going to have to get, I think, one lane in this Aegis timing. See if they can do it.
I see Eurus going for a BK, excuse me, not a BKB, a butterfly now, and a BKB on top. But when I see butterflies come out, the one thing that comes to my mind straight away is a Divine Rapier for God King. I wouldn't be shocked if he sees that butterfly, finishes off the AC, and says, "Screw it, I want a Divine." He did this yesterday with a Terrorblade game that they were ahead in, where he just wanted to buy a Divine for no reason.
Could happen. He's got the MKB queued up now, and he's actually, I think, seen that the butterfly is almost completed and just ditched the AC idea and is just going Monkey King Bar.
Fair enough. TP's in, top lane, they do get the snowball off, but he has help around the corner. There's that Dream Coil and a hook shot, but a nice swap out from the Venge. It will keep him alive. Now the boat flying in, Ori, it's a great boat. Another swap out on Yang this time around, though DY, he is dead, and now the Rolling Thunder out from OP gone, but the Eclipse is there on Eurus. It's not doing anything though. He's gonna die very, very early on, and that'll be the Aegis. In fact, they'll lose Yang and PYW as well. Just on the tail end of that, and, well, the bash comes out from OP God. Eurus has nowhere to go. He's trying to run. He'll eat the cheese, but it will not matter. It'll be a 4-for-1 trade.
Oh, man. So, Eurus is looking at that fight, and he's like, all right, Doom's being used. There's all this other stuff that's being used. I should just be able to run in with my Satanic and my Aegis and just 1v5 this fight. And he just gets slapped. He popped the Satanic on the first life, got like one auto attack off, still just died.
None of them have buyback either.
Yep.
They're going through backdoor protection now, but
Creeps are coming.
If SAG realize...
I mean, they know, right? They know that Luna's got no buyback.
They're
just going to go tier 4.
Yeah, screw it. We've seen this one before. You can't do this up against SAG. They have balls of steel. They will go for the tier 4s every single time. There's a Deso being bought out by OP God now. They'll rush the tier 4s. DY will be back up in 2 seconds. But how do you defend in a 2v5 situation? There's the Ancient. It's exposed. DY, he's in trouble. They call it. It's GG. They can't defend without the rest of their heroes, and DY is already gone. And there's a celebration hook shot out onto Ori, and oh, Vici Gaming, what have you done? Dota Plus was saying they were around 90% win rate at around the 25-minute mark. And one bad team fight, and SAG take over.
They botched that high ground. Why did they even go high ground? Right? We were talking about it the other day, right? That like going high ground just it feels like kind of a dead concept in Dota these days, right? People don't go high ground until they've got like a 20k, 30k lead. And I don't know. It wasn't even that Vici wanted to force them back, right? If they just wanted to force them back, they could have gone and hit it a little bit, seen a few TPs, and they could have backed away. But they blinked in and they stunned somebody at the tier 3 tower. Like they were looking for a fight there. I guess they just lost track of their Aegis timing, and then they completely fell apart after that.
It's just one simple mistake up against a team like this, and they will punish you for it. You can't afford to do this. But, I mean, this is a best of 3 grand final. This isn't a best of 5, so SAG is suddenly 1 game away from winning the whole thing. And Vici Gaming will desperately need to claw their way back in game number 2 and force to a game 3 to win this one out. It is MLP Dota and Basskip, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second game of this grand final. We'll see you then.